As I mentioned before, a brain injury affects the whole person, not just what's inside our head. The brain is the main control center for most aspects of our physical and psychological being. In this module, we'll explore what this means in more detail, then learn some ways to help another person adjust to changes in physical and mental abilities following a brain injury. Please pause the DVD and read Module 3 now. When you're finished, click the Start button to go on with the DVD. Previously, you were introduced to our volunteer experts. Now, some of them will talk about how important it can be to help a survivor find something they're able to do and that they absolutely love. For some survivors, this means getting back an ability they had before brain injury. For others, it can be finding new activities or friends to match the new persons they've become.
Well, in essence, art was the start of a brand new life for me. It's just a way to live your life with yourself. I mean, I don't talk about art to other people, but you just do it. And I mean, I just feel as if now it's you. Each person is a specific person. Yeah. An artist, and they all evolve around your mental ideas about society and other people. Art is not art if there wasn't other people. So other people reflect off the. I go on for days to talk about this. And there's a billion different ways that art could be considered.
My, what a lovely day. I am in the shade under one of my trees. I'm watching a couple of bumblebees. I will look high into the deep blue sky, where I will see a plane go by. Say, what a beautiful day. Would you like to come out to play? Everything is going my way. My, what a lovely day.
My dad taught me how to really basically drive again and all that, and teaching me going out, how to mechanic, and my hand and eye coordination a little bit better. My mom does it for my reading, writing, and all that, and tell me just because I got in that car wreck doesn't make me a handicap, doesn't make me, and I got a brain injury doesn't make me have a handicap. I can still do anything another person, a normal person would do.
I mean, like for me going back to school, I'm sure that my husband had some real concerns about that, but he knows me and he knows how I am, and that was real important in my healing, not just because I was going to learn anything, because I didn't, but because I needed to have a piece of my life back, for one thing, to give me hope, and I needed to have get back from where I fell off the track and at least try to do whatever I can do, to just try.
Well, I had a CDL, a commercial driver's license, and I mean, I was driving the biggest trucks on the road, and well, now I'm not the major bread earner for the household. I don't make the high income I used to make, and I mean, I have enough problems remembering to shave first thing in the morning, unless I want to grow a beard or. So, my psychiatrist said I needed my own vehicle, and it costs a lot of money to renew the commercial driver's license, especially the one I had, with all the endorsements and so we're on a fixed income. My wife said it was costing too much. I said, well, I'll give up my commercial driver's license if you give me the pickup truck as my vehicle. And so she did. So now the pickup truck's my personal vehicle. And so I've made it my civilian semi-truck. I have lights and horns, and I may be overdoing it too, but it, you know, it's my personal vehicle now, and I look forward to every time I can get behind the wheel and go driving. And I even took the horns out and mounted air horns into it.
Well, soccer really came down the road. I was very afraid of him playing soccer again, even so some people that knew him from before, he was a very good soccer player, so were his brothers, played against the Canadians with German teams here. But I was always afraid of a secondary brain injury, so we really waited for a long time. And then when he finally started, and I think this is 4 years ago, he started as assistant coach. But then since he wants to win, and the team didn't win, he thought, well, if I play too, we'll win, which they did.
I like those sports, so that's why I do bowling, golf, soccer. I like soccer the best. You know, neat sport. I like doing that.
I have some friends that they go to college and they come back and we hang out. We go fishing and all that, ice fishing in the winter, and go camping, ride around, pickups, go hunting, and everything. We like to go out and do sports like softball and basketball quite a bit. But it's hard for me now because my T7 and I fractured. It's hard for me to maneuver around as good as I used to.
Challenge has always been a motivating word for me because prior to the accident, I had been a gymnast and a cross-country runner. So the word challenge to me means go for it. The hospital, the second doctor I had said that I would probably never move again. Okay. And those words rang in my head when I woke from the coma. So, as an ex-gymnast, I began to stretch as I could in the bed I was in. Anyway, from now on to the Rehabilitation Institute in my wheelchair, and they had told my parents, based on my hospital reports, I would probably never walk again. Maybe learn to mutter a little. Well, a month and a half later, I walked out of there saying goodbye. I coach gymnastics as a volunteer now for a middle school in Federal Way. I began coaching gymnastics at a grade school in Auburn. February 25th, I believe, of 2003, I was coaching, and I lived out of the county I coached in, so I needed to receive a shuttle from the King County Access Bus, which is the public transportation for handicapped people. And on the shuttle was a man which drove that I instantly connected with. And at first, I had no idea why, but then as he began to share with me how he was born with a brain injury and how he had lived the years of my recovery all his life, we became the best of friends instantly. And he is now my husband. We've been married for just over 3 years. And as he cares for me and I care for him, it is so nice to be able to just be yourself. And as I said earlier, stop trying to impress everybody with your recovery.
Honest to believe is what helped me is just the support I had around me. I had people that I didn't even know before coming up to me and telling me, "Hey, we've been thinking about you. Our prayers are with you. If you need anything, just ask." And I believe that's honestly what helped me, is because when I got back, it wasn't just a few people here and there the whole town of Sequim knew who I was. They knew what happened, everything, down to the little bit. I got back the first night in the Sequim and I walked through Safeway and I must have had 7 or 8 different people come up to me and ask me if I was Adrian and tell me, "We've been thinking about you, our prayers are with you, we're just glad to see that you're home now."
The way I found out about the support group was I was having these temper tantrums. And I was scaring my wife so bad. And she found out about somebody from her work about this head injury brain support group they met every week. And so she came home and suggested I go to it. Well, I was in denial. I said, I didn't need this. Nothing's wrong with me. But she persisted, and then she said, "Would you just go to it once? And if you don't like it, you don't have to go back." And so, okay, I'll go. So we went to the meeting, and I sat down and I started listening to these people talk, because they first introduced themselves and what happened to themselves, and then they would talk for 5 minutes or so about how their week went and everything, and I started listening, and these people act and do the exact same way I am. And so I kept going to these meetings, and I went so long, they made me the attendance taker.
Oh, we have a beautiful dog. She is 1 year old. She just had her birthday. Her name is Bailey. Now, I do have a cell phone. Of course, I do a lot of activities, so my screensaver has Bailey immediately. If I ever get lonely, Bailey's there. Yeah. She is a beautiful doggie. 1 year old golden retriever. She's so special.
I think her attitude has always been great, but sometimes she had like a moment, a time when she was at home, and then sometimes she would watch TV, and then sometimes she didn't know what to do, she needed to do something, So with getting your dog has helped, to keep her more occupied, so feel being loved, And now, after they've known each other, they are like very much good companionship. Bailey likes to follow her. Even in the evening when she wants to say good night, then Bailey wants to jump onto her bed and give her a kiss. So that makes her feel much better. Well, if you are helping some resident achieve their goals, then they are so wonderful, because then they are on their own and they are fulfilling their dreams. They are happy. And in fact, then they don't bother you much, because if they're happy, then you don't have to care much, because they're happy.